You're in a grocery store checkout line. The total reads $247. You look down at the cart. Nothing in it is luxury. No steak, no specialty items, no impulse splurges. The same cart, same brands, same quantities, cost $161 18 months ago. You didn't change your shopping habits. The math changed. But here's what's actually happening. And it's not just inflation. Prices rose in 2026, yes. But something more fundamental shifted. The value proposition on dozens of everyday purchases quietly broke. Products that used to deliver real value now come bundled with stacked fees, mandatory subscriptions, financing traps, and hidden charges that didn't exist 3 years ago. The price went up, the value went down, the math flipped. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 12 things that are no longer worth your money in 2026. Not because I want you to live on rice and deprivation, but because if you're still spending on these 12 categories the same way you were spending in 2022, you're losing somewhere between $8,000 and $15,000 per year on purchases that have fundamentally changed in value. And most people don't know the math has moved on them. The average American household spends roughly 14% of its annual budget on what the Bureau of Labor Statistics calls convenience-adjacent spending: food delivery, streaming services, subscription products, and finance discretionary purchases. That share costs approximately $8,680 per year, up 66% since 2021. The same categories, a 66% increase, and the value delivered, in most cases, roughly the same. My name is Marcus, and I've spent years studying how ordinary household spending decisions compound into massive financial outcomes over time. If you're someone who earns a decent income, pays their bills on time, and still wonders why the numbers never quite add up at the end of the month, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this kind of analysis is useful to you. Let's start with the mechanism behind what's happening. In the old model, you bought a product once. In the new model, you buy access to a product repeatedly, and the value proposition is designed to look like a deal per month, while obscuring the catastrophic cost per year. The average American household now pays for 3.4 streaming services at $17 each per month, plus internet averaging $91, plus music streaming, news, fitness app, cloud storage, and password manager. The total, $206 per month. Cable television cost $112 in 2019. The household that cut cable to save money is now spending $135 more per month than cable used to cost them. Not because they made bad decisions, because the industry ran a masterclass in subscription fragmentation, a model where the total cost is impossible to perceive because no single line item feels significant enough to question. Read that again, because the implications are significant. Number 1, streaming bundle stacking. Streaming prices have risen between 23 and 41% since 2021. The average household subscribing to Netflix, Disney+, Max, Hulu, and Paramount Plus spends $81 per month on streaming video alone, $972 per year. According to Ampere analysis, original title counts per platform grew 12% over that same period while prices rose over 30%. You're paying more for essentially the same library, fragmented across more services. The fix: one primary service plus free ad-supported alternatives. Annual savings, $400 to $700. Number 2, food delivery apps. In 2022, the average delivery order cost roughly $2 more than pickup. That gap is now $12.40 per order. Delivery fees, service fees, expanded service fees, small order fees, and peak pricing stacked on top of each other. The Bureau of Labor Statistics found food delivery surcharges rose 41% from 2023 to 2025, while restaurant prices rose 9.4%. A family ordering delivery twice per week is paying approximately $1,290 per year purely in fees and markups above the food's actual cost. That's over $1,000 in a category most people file under a few extra bucks for convenience. Number 3. New car purchases. In 2019, the average new car transaction price was $37,000. In 2026, it's $51,800, a 40% increase. Average loan rates sit at 8.6%, the highest since 2001, stretched across 72-month terms. Finance $48,800 at those terms, and you'll pay $13,264 in interest alone on a vehicle worth $22,000 to $24,000 when the loan ends. Add $2,400 in typical dealer add-ons, and the true cost of a $51,800 car approaches $64,400. This advice isn't wrong. Cars depreciate. It's just incomplete in a way that benefits dealers enormously. In 2017, the average buyer paid about $1.60 in total cost for every dollar of resale value retained. In 2026, that ratio is $2.40. The math-smart alternative: a 2 to 4-year-old certified pre-owned vehicle at credit union rates, currently averaging 5.2%. Annual savings versus new: $3,000 to $5,000 in financing costs alone. Number 4. Extended warranties. Consumer Reports found that extended warranties are invoked on covered repairs in fewer than 12% of cases. 88% of warranty purchases cover nothing but peace of mind. The average policy costs between $1,200 and $2,800. The actual weighted repair probability and cost averages approximately $340 per item. Banks and retailers understand this math perfectly and have zero incentive to explain it, because they earn 60 to 80% margins on every policy sold. Number 5. Gym memberships used fewer than 8 times per month. A $45 monthly gym membership costs $3.75 per session at 12 visits per month. At 5 visits, it costs $9. At 1 visit per month, the actual pattern for 61% of members, according to Run Repeat, it costs $45 per session. Add the fitness app many gyms now bundle at $9 to $15 extra, and the average non-frequent member spends approximately $660 per year for between 6 and 10 actual workouts. That's $66 per workout. A community center membership at $15 per month, used consistently, delivers identical results at a fraction of the cost. Now, I want to introduce you to someone. David Chen was 43 in January of 2024. Household income of $118,000, $11,000 in savings, $23,000 in credit card and personal loan debt. No clear explanation for where the money went. He wasn't reckless. He wasn't gambling. He and his wife simply lived a normal American lifestyle. New cars, dining out, delivery apps, streaming services. He didn't win the lottery. He didn't receive an inheritance. He didn't launch a business. He spent 4 hours on a Saturday mapping out what every budget category was actually costing him. The first phase was the subscription audit. 11 active subscriptions he hadn't consciously decided to keep. 8 canceled in one afternoon. Monthly spending dropped $147. The second phase was transportation. 2 new cars, $19,824 per year in combined payments and insurance. He refinanced 1 vehicle to a shorter term, saving $6,000 in total interest. When the second loan ended, he replaced the car with a 2-year-old certified pre-owned model at 40% below new price. Annual savings, $4,200. The third phase was food delivery. $480 per month on dining and delivery, mostly from habit rather than genuine enjoyment. 1 structural change, a Sunday meal prep routine, dropped delivery from 4 times per week to once or twice. Monthly food spend dropped $220. Annual savings, $2,640. Total freed up in the first year, approximately $9,036. 4 hours of arithmetic, a few phone calls. 1 new habit. By the end of 2024, $11,000 in credit card debt was gone. By mid-2025, the remaining $12,000 in personal loans was gone too. Their savings crossed $30,000. For the first time in 10 years of marriage, they had financial margin. Every individual decision David had made over those years seemed reasonable at the time. The problem was the system, not the individual choices. Number 6. Buy now, pay later for discretionary spending. Research from the Financial Health Network found that buy now, pay later users spend 37% more per transaction than cash or card users on equivalent purchases. When a $300 jacket becomes $75 paid 4 times, the brain processes it as a $75 purchase. The result isn't the product costing more. It's you buying more of the product. Buy now, pay later doesn't charge you interest on the money. It charges you 37% of your own behavior. Add the deferred interest trap. If one payment is missed, interest backdates to the purchase date at 26 to 29.99%. And roughly 1 in 4 users ends up paying significant interest on purchases they believed were free to finance. Number 7. Monthly subscription boxes. A $65 per month subscription box costs $780 per year for approximately $850 to $1,090 in retail valued product. That sounds like a deal until you account for the fact that 63% of subscription box items are never used to completion. You're paying primarily for the anticipation of opening the box, not the contents. Novelty, not utility. Number 8. Internet and cable bundles from major carriers. The average household pays $97 per month for internet service in 2026, up from $63 in 2020. FCC research shows real-world mid-tier speeds improved roughly 35% over that period, while prices increased 62%. Regional internet providers offer comparable speeds at 30 to 40% lower cost in most markets. Calling your current carrier and stating your intention to cancel typically produces a retention offer, reducing your bill by 20 to 30% immediately. That one 20-minute phone call is worth between $240 and $360 per year. Number 9. Name brand processed foods. Store brand alternatives to name brand processed foods, cereals, canned goods, frozen vegetables, condiments, pasta, are produced by identical manufacturers in roughly 61% of cases. Same factory, same ingredients, different packaging, and a 47% price premium. A family spending $360 per month on groceries, buying primarily name brands, could reduce that to approximately $250 with no meaningful change in product quality. Annual savings, $1,260. This applies to processed goods specifically. In produce and fresh items, the price-quality relationship is stronger. Number 10. Airline ancillary fees. The airline industry generated $7.3 billion in seat selection fees in 2025. A family of 4 on one round trip can pay between $96 and $552 in seat selection charges alone. What most travelers don't know, the FAA requires families with children under 13 to be seated adjacent to accompanying adults at no charge. Airlines must accommodate this at check-in when asked. This regulation has been in effect since 2024 and is almost never proactively communicated because the airlines have zero incentive to tell you about a rule that eliminates a fee you're currently paying voluntarily. Number 11. New smartphones on a 2-year upgrade cycle. The average flagship phone retails at $1,100 to $1,250. Functional lifespan, 4 to 5 years. Major manufacturers support software updates for 5 to 7 years. A person upgrading every 2 years pays approximately $625 per year in phone cost. Every 4 years, $312 per year for functionally equivalent performance on email, navigation, and photography. Those use cases have not increased in technical demand at anything close to the rate phones have increased in price. Carrier 0% financing programs are structured specifically to keep you in the 2-year cycle. The cost is embedded invisibly in your monthly plan. Number 12. financed home fitness equipment with mandatory subscriptions. Smart treadmills, rowing machines, and connected mirrors typically cost $2,000 to $4,000 at purchase, financed at 0% for 24 months, then 18 to 29.99% after the promotional period ends. The required subscription content costs $39 to $64 per month. Over 5 years, that's $2,340 to $3,840 in subscription costs on top of the equipment. A $250 used commercial treadmill and a free training plan from any public health website delivers the same cardiovascular result. Same outcome, 1/20th of the cost. Here's what nobody tells you about these 12 categories together. The math isn't about any single item. It's about the compound effect of value erosion across multiple spending lines simultaneously. Someone carrying all 12 patterns isn't spending $100 too much per month. They're typically spending $8,000 to $15,000 too much per year compared to someone with identical income and lifestyle who simply audited these categories. That $8,000 to $15,000 redirected into a standard index fund at 7.5% annually becomes between $530,000 and $1 million over 25 years. Not from a salary increase, from arithmetic. If you want the fastest wins in the next 30 days, start with your subscriptions. Open your bank and credit card statements, mark every recurring charge, and cancel every service you wouldn't notice was missing for 30 days. The average household recovers between $160 and $340 per month from this step alone. Do this today. This quarter, run the full transportation math. Calculate your true annual cost, payments, insurance, fuel, maintenance, parking, and compare it to owning a reliable 2-year-old used vehicle. Most households spending over $10,000 annually on transportation can restructure that number by 30 to 40% without meaningful lifestyle impact. Specifically and immediately, track your actual food delivery spending for 7 days. Not your estimate, the real total, including every fee and tip. Most people discover the number is 2 to 3 times higher than what they thought. That discovery is more motivating than any advice. Here's the deeper truth that underlies all 12 of these categories. The value math didn't shift gradually. It was restructured deliberately, using behavioral data you generated. The companies on this list, streaming platforms, car dealers, delivery apps, smartphone manufacturers, buy now, pay later providers, are not charging more because their costs increased proportionally. They're charging more because behavioral data showed them exactly how much they could extract before customers switched. They used your patterns to calibrate the maximum extraction point. The system doesn't explain this to you because nobody with a profit motive benefits from your understanding it. You now have all 12 categories mapped. You have the mechanism. You have the math. Picture yourself 3 years from now. The subscriptions you actually use, the car without a compounding financing penalty, the phone that still works perfectly because it was working perfectly 2 years ago, and your actual needs haven't changed. None of it was deprivation. All of it compounded. Picture someone else, same income, same city, same lifestyle, same ambitions, who heard the same information and decided each item wasn't quite significant enough to act on. The streaming service was only $17. The food delivery was only occasional. The car payment was only manageable. The individual items were fine. The compound total was not. Same income, same baseline, different relationship with the arithmetic. David Chen did the arithmetic on a Saturday in January of 2024. 11 months later, his debt was gone. 18 months later, his savings had done something he hadn't seen in a decade of earning more than most people he knew. He didn't find a new income source. He didn't sacrifice anything that actually mattered to him. He simply stopped paying for things that had already stopped being worth what they cost. What you do with the same information will determine